All right, here we go. Hello, this is Duncan, and with me today is
me.
What's your YouTube name at the moment?
It's Flaming Hot Fox.
Flaming Heart Fox. Okay. And
Yippee!
we're going to have a play around with Claude3.5 today, making Python code. Because I've discovered it's quite good at making short little games all by itself.
Made the game. Yippee!
It's not perfect. It can be inefficient sometimes, like nesting for loops and things like that. But we've come up with some quite cute things. Shall we show people what we did yesterday?
Let's show them the Connect 4.
Connect 4, okay.
It's a very simple one, but I think it's very smart and yeah.
So the prompt was literally just make a Connect 4 game.
Yeah, and it did a pretty interesting. Well, not interesting, but it did do Connect 4.
So this is the code that was generated by Claude, and it just runs in the text screen.
Let me show you. We did some tests and stuff. You go.
Yeah.
I'm X.
So this is 2-player, so you press a number to drop a token into that column. So there's a 0 for me. And we didn't have to change this at all. It just works.
Yeah.
So if I do 8 there, it says it's an invalid move. If I type in nonsense, it's an invalid move. If we keep dropping things into column 6 and it goes to the top, it recognises that it's full.
Like you could do this and it'll... Yeah.
So we asked it just to add a computer opponent and went through a few iterations because the first version just dropped random tokens in random columns.
It had no strategy.
So we asked it to just have a little bit of strategy to it. You can see in the code here, here's the AI move section. Try to win, so it'll check for a winning move. Try and block a player's winning move. Prefer center in nearby columns. So that's cool. Anyway, we want something with prettier graphics, right? So let's get rid of that. Here was my first attempt. I just said make a spaceship game with falling blocks. With items to collect. I said you want to control it for a bit. There we go. And if you touch a green square, you get points. If you touch a red square, it's game over.
Yeah.
So do that. There we go. I thought, well, squares are pretty boring. I asked Claude to make the spaceship a bit more spaceship looking.
And it did a very cute thing.
So here's the response it gave me. Added a new function, draw player, blah, blah, blah. Replaced the blue rectangle representing the player with the new spaceship graphic. The spaceship is now composed of a white triangular body, a blue circular cockpit, and 2 red wings. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. Isn't that cute?
Look at it! I don't know why it sounds like this. Why is my voice so squeaky?
Mine can get squeaky sometimes too.
No!
Alright, so we've got a whole bunch of silly little games like that. Oh, I'll show one more. So we just said an evolution game, didn't we? So no real information. We asked it to use PY game as well.
Yeah, because when we didn't specify to use PY game, it just... why did they have little things?
I asked it to add a few little things. So the marks above the creatures are an indication as to how much health they have left.
And it also has seasons, and the plants move slower, and when they die, their cash goes smaller. Wow!
Yeah, there's just predators left now, so they're going to die. They leave a little corpse behind that predators can still eat. The seasons was Claude's idea.
Ooh.
I said, because I asked it, how is food working? And it said, well, each time a piece of food is eaten, another one appears, so there's always 50 pieces of food. And said, well, that's very realistic. There's no competition for resources. It suggested adding seasons. So I said, do that. It did it. So food grows quicker in spring. It also suggested having the size of the food increase over time as well.
I didn't know you added that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Because at first it was just absolute chaos, but now it's actually pretty fair.
Well, we swung back too far the other way. So the first iteration, it just got overpopulated and it was chaos.
Like it just
and now it's swung back too far the other way and everything dies out.
Yeah, we gotta find a way to balance.
So it needs tweaking, but considering I didn't write a line of code in this, I just came up with suggestions and Claude did it all. There we go. So there's a couple of little predators left that have nothing to eat.
It always ends with 2 predators.
Yeah.
Always specifically 2. Yippee! Okay, so this next thing was my idea. Well, the prompt we gave it was just Doom, make Doom.
Make Doom.
But in the end, it kind of turned into a tank simulator. Like, the movement is more tanky than first-person shooter.
Yeah.
And it's top-down.
Yeah, so this is Python. It can't really do first-person.
It can't, unless you do very fancy coding stuff.
Here's the code it churned out, and I'm like, yeah, that's not a first-person game, is it? Do all the players' line of sight? What's that about?
Oh god, this is the first version, isn't it?
So we do have...
It's the first version where we added the green border.
Not quite sure what the red lines were supposed to represent, but we got rid of those.
Walls. Also, there's a thing right here. The red line goes through the border.
Yeah, well, we added the border on afterwards, didn't we?
Yeah, so...
But you drive around like a little tank using WASD.
And the movement is kind of hard. Well, actually, getting kind of used to it. It's harder when you get to the enemies.
So here's the current state of the game with enemies and walls and things.
And health! Here we go.
So we've got some grey walls. We've got 3 different types of enemy that chase after you.
So purple is slow and walks randomly. Red... Oh, I think this must be an older version since we don't have the health and they also bunched together.
Maybe I didn't save it.
Oh no!
It'd be easy enough to add back on again.
Yeah, hopefully.
The collision detection was a bit janky.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, you shoot and you can blow the enemies up.
You shoot with the purple ones are very powerful and move randomly. Red ones are pretty easy to beat and average speed and go towards you. Blue ones are much faster but very easy to kill, and they're very small.
I found the most pleasing thing was when I asked it to make a simple explosion effect when you kill an enemy, and there you go, it's simple explosion effect.
Yeah, I do love the explosion effect. And if you look at the bullets, they're kind of like, they're not going in a straight line.
We asked it to add a little bit of randomness to the angle.
So it's easier to shoot them, like... Because, like, since there's no health in this version, you could just sit in a corner and just shoot. And they'll get killed. So my idea for another thing is a pufferfish simulator.
So that's the prompt, pufferfish simulator. So for Claude3.5, we're going to say, please, because I'm always polite to AI, make a Python 3 game using Pygame. It is a pufferfish simulator, did you say?
Yes! Pufferfish.
Let's see what it comes up with. Initialize Pygame, set up the display, colors, pufferfish. So it's made a class here for pufferfish. I'm trouble scrolling down. And something about images in there. It's got a function called puff and another function called deflate. Another function called move. and then another class with obstacles in.
Obstacles.
So we've got a game loop, move pufferfish, spawn obstacles, draw. All right, so we're going to copy this into idle, and yes, Python programmers, I use idle. Fight me.
Wait, idle isn't normal? What even is
It's like a
idle?
really basic editor for coding.
Oh. Yeah, fight us!
There's like more advanced ones with macros and what have you.
What is a macro?
Anyway, let's run the code, see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got to save it.
Oh.
Pufferfish. All right, so the pufferfish is a blue square, and there's looks like there's red obstacles.
Okay, so
Cursor keys move you around. Now, what's this about inflating and deflating? How does that work, do you think? I might have to look at the code. Well, touch a red object, see what happens.
come at me.
I can't believe you missed. Oh, it ends the game. So they kill you. All right, let's have a look at the code.
Oh, not pufferfish shaped. We're a square. It's just a spaceship game, but pufferfish.
All right, so puff and deflate. If space is held down, it puffs, but also it makes you deflate. I'm gonna ask Claude about that. Hey, what is the puff and deflate functions all about? They both use the space key? Question mark! Exclamation mark!
I feel like maybe you hold down space and when you stop holding it down, it'll inflate you.
Alright, so Claude acknowledges that it doesn't make sense for realistic pufferfish behaviour, and it's given me an update. In the main game, you add pufferfish update. Where?
In your hair! It rhymes.
I don't think any of this makes sense.
Yeah, this is confusing.
Alright. I'll put it. I'll put it just after the other update in the code there. After obstacles update. There we go.
Let's see what happens.
Try pressing space.
Oh my god!
You puffed up. So
Ah,
so space makes you puff out and then deflate again.
I see.
Great. That's a true pufferfish simulation.
Wow. Does this make my hitbox bigger? No.
No, it doesn't really have any point, but we didn't really give it very many parameters for the game, did we?
Yeah.
It just pulled that out of its imagination.
It's basically just Spaceship Simulator, but you can become bigger.
Yeah. So how can we improve this pufferfish simulation?
We need food, and we need to be spiky.
Okay.
So the pufferfish are spiky.
We need food and we need to be spiky.
Yippee!
Because pufferfish are spiky. Let's add food for the pufferfish to eat and make the pufferfish spiky when it's puffed up. Okay. Right, so it's added a food class. I wonder if it is going to be spiky. Is it just going to add more squares or triangles in?
I hope it makes it triangle spikes.
The pufferfish now has spikes when puffed up. We draw red lines radiating from the centre of the circle to create a spiky appearance.
Huh?
All right. Haven't bothered to read all that. Let's just copy the code in and see what happens.
Yeah. Oh.
Type error. All right.
Huh?
So I could look at that myself, but I can't be bothered. Or it could be, have I not imported math? Let's have a look. Yeah, math isn't imported.
Oh.
There we go. We've put the updated code in. Let's see what happens. There we go.
I'm a circle.
We're a circle now.
Ooh.
There's some food. Num score is 1. Num score is 2. Right, you want to try puffing up. Yay! Look, we're a spiky pufferfish. They're just randomly drawn.
Wait, I can kill these guys.
You can kill them while you're puffed up.
Yeah.
Do they still kill you? Yeah, so when you're puffed up, they can't kill you. That's an interesting game choice. You may as well just stay puffed up all the time.
Yeah.
But what if there's a limit to how long we can puff up?
Maybe if you want to puff up, you have to eat food to gain energy.
All right, we've got it. Okay.
Basically, like a shop.
All right. When you are puffed up, this decreases resource. How do they puff up? When you run out of the resource, you can no longer puff up. Eating food restores a little bit of puff. Peth. Puff.
A little bit of
A little bit of peth.
A little bit of peth.
Claude always tells me my suggestions are excellent. Puff energy.
Holding. It feels like flying.
Right. I'm not keeping a version history, I'm just pasting over it. Okay.
Okay, it's time for the testimony.
Alright, so we have a yellow bar for puff energy and a number.
Oh.
We get a number and
oh wow.
And then it returns us. And then eating the food gives us 10 puff energy.
I think next, along with the falling enemies, there should also be enemies that go after you, so you actually have a reason to puff. What happens if I collect energy when I have 100?
Nothing. You don't get points though. And then puff energy makes you invincible. It's funny because we didn't ask it to make you invincible while you're puffed up. It just decided that. It didn't tell us. And it's cute how it thinks this is a simulation.
I think next we should add a new type of enemy that follows you. Well, roughly follows you. It doesn't beeline towards you, just roughly goes your direction.
So we are going to ask Claude to add a new enemy type. Add a new... Well, it's an obstacle, really, isn't it? It's an obstacle class. Add a new enemy or obstacle that appears every now and then. It homes in on the pufferfish, slightly erratically. Every half second, it changes the angle by a random amount. Is there anything else we want to tell it about this new enemy? It kills you if it touches you.
Yeah.
Unless you're puffed up.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Oh, it's called it a predator. Okay.
So, is there like a place that we can put in the code for this so other people can have the games?
Well, because it's in Python, they would have to have Python installed to run the script. But there are tools that will make an executable. It's not very efficient. It includes all like Python stuff, runtime stuff.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, on itch.io, my game Crystal Orb Adventures is written in Python, and that's presented as an executable. So it is doable.
I see.
It'd just be handy if everyone had Python installed, that's all.
Yeah.
Alright, I need to do this bit by bit, because it has said this bit of code remains the same, so I need to cut and paste each separate sections. So back in a moment, everyone. All right, so I've copied all the code in. Let's run it.
See you when Right.
I don't know when the predator will appear. Oh, there he is. It's a purple square. Quick, get away. There's two of them. How do you get rid of them? They don't disappear.
Wait, no, let me try again. I didn't puff up.
You didn't puff up, did you? We need to test that.
Yeah.
And how erratic are they being? Let's have a
Yeah.
look. A little. They do some.
I just keep running into that.
The direction just does change a little bit, but we can maybe tinker with that. There we go. Don't forget to puff up. There we go. Yay!
Yeah.
That's how you get rid of them. You puff them to death.
Oh, and then there's a bit of a challenge here where you gotta get energy.
So I think we've actually got a functioning game here. There's a challenge.
Yeah, they don't really exactly. Yeah. Yeah, this is a challenge, and I definitely have a lot more ideas for what I want to do, but we'll do that in the next video.
I think the graphics could do some work. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
mind using the basic circles and squares that come with PY Game. As making sprites is hard.
Yeah, but I think this could definitely be better. But yeah,
I mean, that was what 20 minutes work. Well, it wasn't much work for us.
Oh, and then we died.
All right, so we'll leave it there for now. Do you want to? Thank you very much for joining me, Flaming Heart Fox. And
Subscribe.
Subscribe. I never ask my viewers to subscribe because I'm doing this. You should definitely subscribe to Flaming Heart Fox,
Yes.
though, because his channel's amazing and he does loads of cool animations.
Yeah.